Woo! She's a cold one this morning, folks. Morning! It is currently 9 degrees outside, with the wind blowing at 20 miles an hour, which makes it a feel-like temperature of -7. And it's supposed to only get as high as 19 degrees today. So we're gonna fire up the furnace in the barn, and we are gonna see how warm we can get it in the barn with the frigid temperatures like they are. All right. It's cold in here. Let's get this furnace started. Yeah, it even says low. That's how cold it is. So, we'll see what it warms up to. Yesterday, I dug the old fertilizer wagon out of the weeds. All the bearings on this thing are locked right up. I spent most of the day yesterday just kind of lubricating, putting penetrating oil on it, and trying to get things freed up, which I managed to get, you know, some things freed up on it. There's other things I didn't get freed up on. And the spinner down here, well, it's not supposed to do that. So that's rusted thin. It's going to need new spinners, new bearings, possibly a few new chains. The belt that runs in the center seems to be fine. I got that pulled apart and pulled up so I can access this roller that's frozen up. And every bolt on this thing, I haven't been able to take the bolt out. I've had to cut the bolts off. So we're going to be putting new bolts on this thing. We want to get this running because the new planter that we have will not plant wheat. So we can throw wheat in here and just broadcast seed it for cover crops in the fall. And that's how we've been doing it in the past, but we've been renting a fertilizer spreader because this one we've had for years, and we had a couple bearings go out on it, so we just parked it. We figured we'd just park it for the year, and we ended up using other fertilizer wagons, and then one year led to another year, led to another year, led to another year. So that's been sitting out in the weeds for a long time, like multiple years. And we finally decided that, you know what, we have the thing, let's spend the money and get it working again, and then we don't have to pay for renting one of these things when we actually own one. Makes sense, right? The issue I'm having with this, and this is where I'm going back and forth on it. To buy one of these units in working order, might not be great condition, but it's in working order, costs about $3,500. And I don't know yet what it's going to cost for all the parts to get this one up and going. Then I'm at that mindset that if it's $3,000 to get this going, might as well spend the extra $500 and just buy one that's already working and not mess with this one. But on the next sense, we already have this one. You know, it's kind of a, I don't know yet. We're still working that one out. Woo! I had to put my beanie on till it warms up in here. But this will be a good test on how well this heats up this area without insulated walls. We are an hour in and it's 12 degrees outside and 39 degrees in here. It's not bad considering there's no insulation on the walls. So we'll see how warm it gets as the day progresses. I had a quick meeting this morning and it's 10:30 right now in the morning and 14 degrees outside still. Let's see what it is in here. It is 45 degrees. I'm liking this Lanair XT 150. I'm impressed with that thing. Now I'm trying to decide, is it worth spending the money to insulate the walls, or because it's not terrible in here. I mean, I'm no gloves, my jacket's unzipped, and it's not the end of the world. I'm actually quite impressed with that thing. And before I left, I was able to get this top pulley off. It didn't come off very easily, but it came off. Now my question is this pulley going to come off like that one came off? I soaked it in that penetrating oil before I left, so hopefully it's soaking, but I'll put the puller on there and heat it up and see if I can get it to come off in one piece. If not, we're cutting it. That one came off with a pulley, or puller. It's bent, but it came off. I just received a call that one of the delivery trucks is stuck in a driveway. Okay. So now I'm on my way there to see if I can just give him a little tug with my pickup, or he needs an actual tow truck. That wasn't so bad. He just slid off the driveway just a little bit and just caught some loose gravel and just couldn't get the traction to keep going forwards or backwards anymore. So just a little tug and he was out. Here's a dumb question, and it could be me. I could be just ignorant on this subject, but I was just at the bank to make a deposit. Wasn't taking cash out, wasn't cashing the check, just depositing a check into my personal account. Why do they need to see an ID? I get if you're making a withdrawal or trying to make a withdrawal, seeing the ID to make sure, you know, it matches up, but to put money in an account, I don't get the whole idea of needing an ID to deposit money. Maybe I'm just ignorant on this subject, but it just seems odd to me. And I didn't think about asking her, because it was one of those things where when it happened, it was just like, oh, okay, and I showed her my ID, but as I was walking out, I was kind of thinking about myself, why did I need to show an ID to deposit money? I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird and don't understand it. I'm getting called out on another service call. Another delivery truck on its way to the terminal. I guess it's on an exit ramp right now, and they said the motor just quit. Just shut off. And they can't get it started. Awesome. So I'm heading down to diagnose that problem. In the meantime, it is 19 degrees outside and the barn is 51 degrees. So I left the furnace running in the barn while I'm gone. My best guess is the fuel pump's going out on that truck. The driver said it was acting like it was running out of gas, and then it just died and wouldn't start. I hooked a computer to it, looked at the computer, and it said that there was a fuel module error code. And when I got there, I turned the key and she fired right up and ran. So I'm guessing a fuel pump's going out of it. She's all disassembled. I have a parts list. It's too late to order anything now, but tomorrow I'm going to start ordering parts for this thing. Get them back together and we can use her again. I do have our welder coming to weld up these pieces. The fertilizer basically rotted out the steel here, so he's going to fabricate me some new pieces on each side. That way the bearings can slide on there. But other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. And it got up to 53 degrees in here today, and it was only 19 degrees outside. So I'm quite impressed with this Lanair waste oil burner. I'm very impressed with it. Considering we don't have no insulation on the sidewalls and there's just the tarp wall there, that's pretty good in here. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.